Alright, Elite Co 3, let's do an SGC Tux order reveal. I don't know, 40 cards, 50 maybe. I'll count them out for the video title, but this was a fun one because we've got some newer cards. You know, 90s to I think the newest card. Is there anything ultra modern? There might be. Yeah. There's Justin Herbert in here from 2020 Prism, but there's a nice stack of vintage, and this is stuff that I had put aside. I was gonna do a all vintage PSA order, but after they close their doors and after they do reopen, I don't think the service price is gonna be viable, or the price for bulk. I don't think it's gonna be anywhere near $20. So that's just my opinion, but. So SGC just dropped their price down to 30. Group submitting, you can get in for 25. A lot of the SGC people that don't like to use SGC, they say the flip looks bad or whatever, and that's just kind of like a personal choice. I don't think it looks bad, and the resale also has a lot of work to do, which is something that they do need to work on, and I think they are. They're getting their name out more, and I think once people see that they grade fairly and consistently, I think that's pretty important, and that's something that I saw once again with this order. I always do my sheets of my pre-grades, and I'm pretty experienced in this by now, so I know typically what condition cards are in, and I mean the grades are just spot on with the what you would expect. There's no surprises. Every card's not graded 0.5 to 1 lower like you'll see sometimes with other orders with different companies. So let's start off with this card. It's a 2003. Now this is the Fleer Tradition. Now I actually love this set because it harkens back to the 1986 Jordan. It's called Fleer Tradition, not Fleer, and that's what it was called in '86. But I just like how they kept that name alive and going. And it's Carmelo. This one was actually a pre-grade 10, so pre-grade 10 ends up a 10. That's always nice. It's just when you feel like you have a 10 card, you just want a 10 grade, and it's not like you want 10s on every single card. But when you grind and work hard to find cards that are worthy of a 10, it's just nice to get the end result and not just be handed a 9. So okay, it's a neat one because it's shine. Typically I don't love the newer shiny cards in the Tux. I think the Tux flip has kind of like a classic look to it. I think it works best with vintage cards. That's just my opinion on it. But, I mean, this Shaq still looks pretty cool. It's a 97 Bowman's Best Refractor. I thought it was out of 400 or something. It's not numbered. But 9 was exactly what I was expecting on that one. This was a cool Jordan metal. Bought it raw. It looked really good. So I was thinking 9, 5, or 10, and it came back at 10. So I was stoked for this. I'm going to keep this one in the PC. I've been working on my Jordan collection. It's not the best Jordan collection, but it's getting more respectable by the day, and this one's going to be added right into it. Bought this raw. I don't know, $20 maybe, $25 was the price on that one raw. But definitely stoked for that grade. This was like $400, $425 raw, and it's called a Skyview, and it's a NBA Hoops insert from 95, 96. So his face is cut off, and it's kind of a strange card. I think I'm gonna keep it, just because I don't know. It's a cool insert. It's from 95. My expectations on this card was a 9, and it came back a 9. So here's an ultra modern. So the first part of the order is going to be all newer stuff. Second part of the order, we will do the vintage stuff, which is fun. It's got some Mano, Mays, Clemente, just stuff. a lot of collectors dig. So here's a Justin Herbert card. This one was about raw. You know, the first thing that I always look at when I'm trying to buy these raw is the center, and then you can't get a perfect indication typically from the picture, but when the card comes in, you kind of know if you have one that's centered or not. And this one came in, it looked nice center. There's no chipping on these back blue corners really, so I thought this one had a chance at a 10, and it got a 10. So the Herbert, I think this is a huge, I mean, this could be a pretty big card. Raw 150 in an SGC 10. I don't know what that would be worth. 375, 450 maybe. That would be my guess on that one. This is an Iverson Skybox EX 2000. Yeah, I was thinking 758 on this. It came back an 8, so fair, consistent grade. This is typically a card I would send to PSA, but I'm not paying $300 to grade this, so it's out of 50. It is in 2007-2008 Ultimate Collection, Ultimate Leadership Quad jersey. It's printed to 50. I know I bought it for $300 raw, and it's in a 9. So how much value was added? I mean, not. I don't think that much, but most people would rather have an SGC 9 than a raw of this card. Is the way I look at it. Okay, a couple Kobe Ultras. I had one as an 8 and one as a 9, so I thought one was definitely better than the other. An 8, it's got some white edging up there. The front, this corner is not perfect. You know, there might be something slight on the surface, but I just thought this one looked like an 8, and it got an 8. And then the second copy that I sent in definitely looked better. I thought this one should be a 9, and it got a 9. So it's a nice one. That one got a 9. This Braun was screened at an 8+, so I thought it should definitely be an 8, and if it gets a little higher, then I wouldn't be surprised it got an 8.5. Nice copy. The right to left is about 60-40, 55-45, top to bottom, about the same. The back doesn't have any like chips or dents on the corners. The surface was relatively clean. This foil on the edges can sometimes be just a little bit imperfect, but this one was nice. So I thought this one had a great chance at an 8 or an 8.5, and it got an 8.5. So that's just the base Bowman LeBron 2003. Here's a finest refractor. This one got a 9, so probably sell this one. It is just the base refractor, so it's a 4th year LeBron 2006 finest refractor. All right, I was pretty stoked about this one. You have to go through a lot of copies sometimes to find a clean Pujols or Ichiro Topps 2001. This one, I think I had it as a 9+, so if it got a 9.5, I wouldn't be surprised, but I was definitely expecting a 9 on it. So the Pujols traded. It's got good centering, 60-40 right to left. Top to bottom is almost 50-50. Doesn't have much chipping at all. On the back, that little corner shows just a slight touch of white. To me, it just looked like definitely a mint card, and maybe a little higher, but I definitely am on board with the mint 9. I think if the right to left was a little better, it could probably be a 9.5. So it's just some of the grading just spot on with these cards. This one got a 10. So I always talk about I've sent like, I don't know, 20 or 30 of these into PSA in the last decade, and I've never gotten a 10. So I think I've gotten 2 10s from SGC. I honestly don't think PSA hands out 10s on this or the Peyton anymore, because I say that because I own a couple PSA 10s of the moss, and I don't see any difference between that and the PSA 9s. The 10s have just a little touch of white, just like the 9s, so 10s might be shut off for the moss spa with PSA, but they're not shut off with SGC right now. So a 10 on the future watch. I'm gonna be holding it like this because I get this annoying glare. (2001) Topps Breeze. Nice one. 8.5 on this one. Just your flagship Breeze. Nice copy. I was thinking 8.5 or 9. It got an 8.5. Here's the second Herbert. The first one we saw got the 10. This one got a 9. It's not quite as nice. That corner is kind of something on that top right back corner that's just not perfect. So 9 makes sense on this one. This is a Fitzgerald Elite Aspirations. This actually just came back from PSA, and it was a PSA 8, and I just didn't agree with it. It was in one of those orders where every single card was graded low, and I just thought it looked more like an 8.5 or a 9, so I just snapped it. You know, what's the value difference from a PSA 8 to an SGC 9? I don't know. It might be pretty similar, but I don't know. That was kind of more me just wanting to prove I was right. Iverson 96 Topps. This is I'm pretty sure these have cooled off somewhat. That one got a 9.5 though. That was cool. This Piazza was screened at a 9+, so I was thinking probably a 9.5. It got a 10, so nice. Bowman 92. This is a set where the quality control was pretty fantastic actually. The main issue that you'll see with 92 Bowman is, well, one, the Kmart photos, but two, the centering. But a lot of times the cards I buy raw are just centered very nicely. In this Piazza, probably picked up raw for $20, and it's a 10. The SGC 10 value on that, it's probably $200 or something. I think PSA 10s are like $350 on that one. Here's the optic. This is the hollow. I think this is going to be a card to have for the future. I just think first year in the Bucks, optic, hollow. It's got a nice look to it. It's not too rare to where people can't afford it. If you look at the right to left, I think the right to left's in the 60-40 range, and I know SGC wants 55-45, so I think if it was pushed over a little, it'd probably be a 10, but 9.5 is awesome for this card. So the hollow, this was a snap out. This was a PSA 9 snap out where I was just getting feisty. I was like, this card should be a 10. I thought SGC would give it a 10. They gave it a 9.5, which is still good, but This is the 95 Upper Deck Choice SE, so the special edition set, gold signature. So somewhat of a tough pull for that era, and this Jeter is a very cool card. It would be a third-year Jeter. Here's Durant. This is let me tilt this camera. 2007 Topps. This was actually a PSA 8 that I thought was an 8.5 or a 9. See that white right there? I think that's why. I think if it didn't have so much white on these back bottom corners, it'd probably be a 9. But it's got great center and doesn't have that typical scratching on the front or the back. So, I had my expectation on this was best case 9. Worst case, I thought SGC would probably give it an 8.5. So 8.5 on that Durant. A second Pujols traded. This one I had graded lower, like 8. I didn't think this one is even close to as nice as the last one. You see that white right there, white right there. Right to left centering's definitely like 70-30. Like this is not that does not bode the best eye appeal for an 8.5, but Pujols traded 2001 in an 8.5. You got the Manning. I've gone through so many of these over the last decade. No, it's definitely not the toughest card to grade. This bottom edge is the main thing you're looking at, and you're just looking for chipping, or if the corner is white, I don't really send it in. Center, and you just want to have a nice fat border on the right. If it's too thin, it's going to be off center, and the top needs to have a nice fat border as well. So Peyton Manning, 95 or 98 Bowman base rookie. This is cool. So this is the Topps Chrome Rivers, just the basic base card. It's not the refractor or anything, but if you look at the centering, this one's on point. It's got the right to left going on. It's got the top to bottom going on. A lot of times with this set, the team name will be pushed up to the top, and there won't be much white space. So you have like the team name pushed up almost to the brim. And those are the ones that typically get like 8s or 7.5s. But this one was centered good and didn't have a lot of scratching. Okay, so there's a couple with autographs. And I always tell SGC, I always tell my rep, I don't want the auto grade on the slab. I don't think it looks good. To me, I think this auto grade shouldn't be up there. It just doesn't look good. It's just too many big numbers on the front. I would just put it on the back. Take this, flip it on the back, take this SGC, center it, make it holographic. I think that's a couple things that they could do to improve the label. But with this 10 and this 9.5, I don't like how it looks. So I just told them don't ever put the auto grades on my slabs going forward. So that's the Vic Ovation. I think there's another one with the auto grade on there. This is LT. That's the Topps debut, and that one is out of $4.99. Hockey, Kel McCarr. That's the Young Guns, and that's the base, and that's a Mint Plus. So I think PSA 9s of this might be like 130, 140. So I'd guess an SGC 9.5 maybe 150, 160 range. PSA 10s were approaching 500, but I think they've backed off. City Heights LeBron, I had this as like a 9.5, I think. So I'm not surprised it did get a 10. It's PSA calls it a redemption special. So City Heights LeBron in a 10. Here's an Iverson. This is the new editions in an 8.5. That's out of Skybox Premium. Vintage. Mantle. So 67 Topps Mantle. SGC grades these vintage cards tough. I don't care what anybody tells you. SGC grades vintage a little tougher than PSA, probably on average 0.5 harder. They're stern, they're strict, but they are consistent. So Mantle in a 67, this one got a 5.5. So I'm in a 5.5. SGC is a really good grade, and when you figure you can buy SGC vintage at a pretty big discount to, in some cases, to PSA, and the card is most of the time nicer or as nice, then I think you have something there if you're a collector and you're just after clean quality cards. I think that's something to think about. 66 Topps. This one got a 6.5, which is a fantastic grade for this set and this card. I'll probably keep this one. Something else about these older cards in this Tux. I mean, I think this label in this Tux was just made for older cards. I just think they look better. The Ultra Modern, I don't think looks as good in the SGC holder. It just seems like the layout of the look just fits older, like clean white Topps cards to me. Here's 57 Tops Maze. The registration's a little, just a tad blurry. If you look at the name, see how it's just not ultra clear. But this one got a 6. Not bad though on this 6. '63 Tops Mantle. This one, see this little white right there in the circle? I think if it didn't have that, it might have a chance at, you know, a 5 or a 5.5. It's got some staining right there on the front. The right to left centering is actually fantastic. I'm gonna flip this light off. See what that does, glare wise. Doesn't help at all. So there's the Mantle in a 4.5. We got Hank Aaron in a 7. That slab's scratched. I might have to send that in to get reholder. It's right across his face too. But this Hank Aaron was a 65. I think this was an SGC 7.5, and I snapped it out. And I was gonna. It looked really good. I was gonna send it to PSA, and I thought they might give it an 8. But time passed, things changed, and I sent it back to SGC. It got a 7. So oh well. You win some, you lose some in the hobby. I think one of the biggest problems in the hobby is people that can't take a loss. People that buy a card and then it goes down a little and they go on eBay and they do a return and put like change my mind because the card went down a little. I mean, I think that's just crap. It happens all the time. 69 Tops. This is Mano's last playing days card. So you can tell he's at the end here, first base. Cool card. I think there's one where the Yankees' last name's in white or something, but this is the yellow and a 6.5, and that's just got incredible centering for a card this old. Very iconic. So I'll get these put in their sleeves after this. Check the store because a lot of these will go into the store. Pete Rose, the 65's such a badass set, but this would be a third-year Pete. And the main thing that I look for as in vintage when I collect or keep cards from my actual collection is centering, which is I think pretty typical for a lot of collectors that like the vintage cards because I don't know, that I just like the ones that are centered. I think some people are after like a clean surface. All right, this is great. I've been like grinding on these Rice rookies for like 2 months now. I probably went through 40 raw copies. This was probably the best one I came across, and it got an 8.5. I don't know what I put down on the sheet. I think 8 to 8.5. So I mean, I thought it had a chance at an 8.5, but the way SGC grades, they are tough on these, and you're not gonna get a gimme 8.5 or anything from SGC on a card like this. But this was a nice one, so I was definitely happy with an 8.5 on this one. So the Rice rookie, and then this one was a nice copy. Definitely not as nice. I think I had this as a 7.5, and came back a 7.5. So it's just got more whiting on the corners. The back's really clean, but the front, you know, it's just not perfect. It's definitely a nice copy. If you ever search for raw Rice cards, I mean, you have to go through tons of beaters just to find one that would have a chance at a 6.5 or 7. 67, probably not my best Mantle. I don't know. It's just it's not an action photo. It's just kind of an awkward one. But 67 Tops, you know, it's still an iconic, awesome card. This one got a 5, so 67 Mantle and a 5. This was an SGC 7.5 that I snapped out, I think, and I was gonna send it to PSA because I don't know. I think PSA grades these a little easier. I was thinking it might get a PSA 8 or something, but the right to left's not great. Top to bottom looks good, but I mean, it's a card from 67. Definitely looks like it should be a 7.5 or 8 to me. Just a fantastic card. So the 71 Tops. Personally, I'm going to keep this one because I just think it looks extremely strong for the assigned grade. 69 tops, last name in yellow, number 2. This one got a 6. I think the last one was a 6.5. I think this one got a 6. '61 tops, Hank Aaron in a 6. Definitely like this one. Vintage cards in the Tux are just a match made in heaven, I think. They look great. 62 tops, Hank. It's just this black outline just makes the colors, everything pop. Here's the 62 tops. I actually like this wood grain finish they got going on. It always makes me think of 87 tops baseball. So that 62 tops Hank gets a 5.5. This is a cool Mutual 59 tops Stan the Man. 6.5 on this one. Kind of getting to the end here. 65 tops Clemente. This one gets a 4.5. See that corner right there? So a lot of times with vintage, you'll have a card that looks, I mean, this card looks awesome, right? But the technical grade might be a lot lower than you would expect just for some things that, see that corner right there, how it's dented? Or at times, sometimes you'll have like a wrinkle across the back that's not really noticeable when you pick up the card and look at the front, and that takes the technical grade down a lot. But the overall eye appeal is probably a lot higher than you would expect, and that's just the way it is, I guess, right? Clemente 6.5. I got 2 of these. So 59 tops Clemente. I had these in like the 6.5 range. So most times though, when I pre-grade my vintage with SGC, I'm always 0.5 higher than what they actually get from SGC. So, all right, last card. Same card, 59 tops Clemente and a 6.5. So that's it, guys. I thought the order was fun. There was a couple bangers in there. I thought the cards that stole the show, aside from the vintage, which was cool, is the Moss Future Watch 10 and the Rice 8.5 tops rookie. So, and lastly, we have a Zach Greinke. This is the Upper Deck Prospect Premieres 2002. I think it is only autographed from 2002 issued cards. This was like a minor league set. I think each box had a couple of these autos in there. I mean, most of the players flamed out, but Future Gems, it's got the dual auto, so I'm gonna send it in and have them take off that auto grade and just put the 10 grade on there. So that's it. I thought it was a good order, and I think that Greinke card's gonna be a big card in the future. So take care. Later. I'm out.